let's talk
please.
about Kingdom. So this week was the continuation of the No Limits challenge, which they had literally no rules, no limits, could do whatever they want. And this week we had the boys, B2B, SF9, and there was one more. ATs did their performances this week. So, what are our thoughts on the performances before we get into who won the challenge?
Skylar, you can go first.
Okay. This was like a setup. Okay.
Except she watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
She watched it because right before we were supposed to film this, I asked them if they watched it, and neither of them did. For context.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, so I would say my favorites from this time were Icon, SF9, and Stray Kids. I think Stray Kids had the skits that they chose to go back and forth, with their performance. It was great. I think they had the best performance, at least the one I enjoyed watching. Icon was just fun, as usual. Of course, and also they had Lisa, and I love Lisa. And SF9, the cover they did of Taemin was really good. And I love that they gave, the background dancers some costuming, some hair. Rarely do people spend time on that, especially in productions that aren't like a big deal. But obviously, I guess Kingdom, they go all out. So they did, and I really loved that. And then, I have to talk about ATs because I love ATs. ATs was, let me get myself together. ATs was dramatic. It was great. Like, they're always great. I think because they commit so much and everything they do was so flawless, people, when you look at them, it looks like they're outperforming people. Even though people are performing just as hard, they're just doing it in a different way and interpreting it differently. But I mean, they're so great. I can't really argue with anything they do. This just wasn't my taste, and I do like ATs, as Olivia said as well. I think we both like them better outside of the show, just doing their ATs thing. This is just very dramatic and theatrical. They tend to take that role on the show. So this performance wasn't my favorite, and I'll just leave it there. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Kingdom this episode.
Okay.
I can go next.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm only commenting on 2. Just because I had the most thoughts about 2.
Mm-hmm.
One would be SF9 and their cover of Move. I will say a huge Taemin stan. Like huge. And I love SHINee, but specifically Taemin is what got me into SHINee. So Taemin is the king. And I will say I did not like this rendition of Move very much. I liked parts of it a lot. Like, I loved the runway scene where he was on the treadmill. Like, I thought that was amazing. I love those visuals. I really liked the costuming for it. Like you said, I thought it was beautiful. I thought they did a great job capturing the essence of it. The parts that really took me out, because of like the essence of the song Move is very like suave and sensual, and like it's soft but not like in a, I don't know how to describe it, but I wanted that, and I was given an EDM
that one
version
breakdown.
of that.
That one breakdown was
like,
out of nowhere.
Yeah, that part really took me out. And like also the rapping parts I didn't think fit with the overall essence of Move and like the song itself. Like, I think a slow, sensual rap or like talking more verse would have fit a lot better than like a harder rap verse in Move. I thought a lot of their movements were great, but again, like, it's Taemin, so like I have a hard time watching other people cover his dances to begin with, because the way he moves is so unique to him, and those dances are they give off like his aura.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that one, I value it because it's hard to do Taemin at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, you're amazing for choosing that and for doing it in your own way. I just personally am like, it wasn't my favorite rendition of Move. So that's that. But I think SF9 is really talented. I'm glad that they were on the show. I'm glad they're getting way more exposure. And I'm excited to see what they do. And the other ones that I want to commentate on is just the boys, because I love them to death. They were obviously my favorite to watch this week because I love EXO, and I thought that their choreo out of all the groups was the best by far. I definitely think that their costuming was really good. Their concept was clear. They kept with like the snake and monster theme of the original music video, but they really made it their own. And the song itself, their live vocals were so good. Very, very strong all the way through, very consistent. Sunwoo and Eric's like rap parts that they wrote themselves fit in so well with the song, even though it was like its own thing, very like much to them. I also loved seeing Eric have like a significant significant lines and using his tone, like that really deep voice that he could pull off in this performance. So yeah, I was very impressed, very happy with the boys. It seemed like they had way more fun with this, and they were really proud of themselves. And I think their song is charting on like all of the apps in Korea currently, like Melon and everything. It's like in the top 10. So really happy for them. And they're clearly celebrating on Twitter. They've been posting like every freaking 20 minutes, 11 members. So I'm just really happy for them, and their performance was freaking amazing. I think everyone did a really good job. I don't think anyone was like lacking. I think all the concepts were really cool. But yeah, those were my takes.
Yeah, so for this week, yeah, AT's, B2B, the boys, and SF9. I think I'll just go through all of them, my thoughts. AT's was very dramatic. And I think Ode to Joy is just kind of like a corny pick for a classical music song anyways. So then, they're doing this kind of like hard, like, hip hop dancing, and then all of a sudden I hear this dude be like, oh, no, 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 no. I was like not prepared for that combo of Michael Jackson pop dancing with Ode to Joy. It just was very. Now, Michael could have pulled it off. I know he would have, but something about it just was very interesting. It was not my thing. It was very dramatic, but they were really good at doing what they did. It just wasn't for me. You know what I mean?
They were the only group that did their own song, and that I respect. That was cool.
Yeah. But Beethoven Symphony Number 9 just kind of came out of left field to me. It was very confusion. Then there was SF9. I liked SF9 a lot, actually. I thought that one EDM part came out of left field, but other than that, I thought they did the kind of sexy, gender bending kind of thing pretty well, actually, and I wasn't expecting that from them at all. I liked the costumes. I liked the set design. I liked that one a lot. I loved B2B's. That one kind of shocked me how much I loved it. It was like La La Land themed, but the crew member was like in love with the actress, and I liked the story they told. I liked the set design. I liked the song. I was really impressed with that one. I really loved that one, actually. And it felt like a whole little musical in one little number. And that might have been my favorite one of the night. And then the boys. I thought this was going to be my favorite because the boys are really good at covers, and I love EXO, and Monster's just my jam. But I think the way you felt about SF9 doing Move is kind of the way I felt about the boys doing EXO, just for this one, because I've seen them cover other EXO songs that I really liked. But for Monster, I don't know. They hit the moves really hard. They did it all right. They did the costumes right. But it was just like, I don't know. I wanted to see EXO do it, you know? Maybe that's just like such a quintessential EXO song. But I've seen them do EXO covers I really liked. And I liked this one. There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't the standout to me, I guess. I liked everything I saw. It just was like, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just wasn't standing out to me. So for this episode, I think B2B actually was my favorite one, which I think is totally shocking to me because I never thought that would be my favorite one. No hate on B2B. It's just I don't think Kingdom was the right show for them. I think they're a great group. But I think what they did with this performance was really found their voice in doing these kind of bigger, showy productions, and instead of trying to directly compete, which I really liked. But overall for this challenge, it's definitely between iKON and Stray Kids. I know ATEEZ won, but for me, you know, iKON, they just bring the energy, they bring the fun. Bobby's always having such a good time. And they had Lisa, and I am a Blink, so I am biased. But Stray Kids also did Do 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 Do, which I love that song. I played it for my non-Kpop friends during our road trip this week. And they were like, what is this song? And I was like, it's Blackpink, the K-pop group from Korea.
Who said what is this song?
Dennis. But I know, so like I don't really get any street cred from that. But he was like, what is this song?
Oh, it's so funny.
Anyways, I will edit that part out.
Oh yeah.
But Stray Kids, they did a great version of Do 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 Do. I loved it with God's Menu, which is also one of my favorite like iconic K-pop songs. So I think it's between them and iKON for me for this challenge. I still really loved those. And I'm biased because it's Blackpink, but also I think I loved the Deadpool thing. I loved the energy they brought to Classy Savage. iKON did. So yeah, I think they just felt like they were having the most fun with it. And I like the fun. I like the energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have a lot of fun. What was
your favorite overall this challenge, Sid?
I don't really know. I think I enjoyed watching. I definitely rewatched The Boys the most. And Monster isn't even like my favorite EXO song. Like it's not usually one that I really enjoy, but maybe that's why I enjoyed seeing The Boys do it, is because it's not my favorite EXO song and I love The Boys. So there's that. My problem with Classy Savage was fun. It was great, but the feature, because they didn't interact with Lisa at all, I don't even know that they filmed them on the same days.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure they did it.
Yeah, it took away from me because I was like, she featured, but like it was just for her star power. Like I would have wanted to see her interact with them in some way to make it like a real feature. Because since that I didn't want to count it towards them performing because it wasn't them, it was Lisa, which is Lisa's Lisa. And like they were able to get her on their stage, but because she wasn't a part of their performance or them doing things, I was like, I don't really necessarily feel like I can count her towards their success in it. But if I can say that, like, at least when ATEEZ did Oda Joy, like they were performing to the choir while they were singing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. B2B, it just wasn't my thing. I knew you would love it because it's very much your thing, like the whole musical and like La La Land specifically. Like that's not really my vibe. So like to see what they did. I also like that they switched it up and didn't try to and compete directly doing the same kind of like choreo and routines that the other groups did, but still doing it big. Like I respect that. I will say that it kind of it brought back, like, the musical stage always makes me think of previous performances, though, because we've seen Icon do that with their song before.
Well, yeah, Love Scenario. They did a great job with that one.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know. I had comparisons in my head, and when I think that, I'm like, But again, I had comparisons in my head when I was watching The Boys do Monster, because I watched the EXO music video right after, and I was like, that's where the snake comes in.
Yeah.
I got it now. So, yeah. But the Marvel reference by Stray Kids was really cool. Love that Ryan Reynolds sent he's at Bangchan, the signed gin bottle, and was like, from one Australian to another. Cute.
Who said from Australian to another?
Ryan Reynolds.
Wow. He's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even Australian.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. He was like,
he's funny.
Something
He's such
about
a
my
shit
favorite
poster.
Australian.
I love him.
It was funny.
He's just
And
the
then
best.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know whether it was Bangchan or Felix, if I'm honest, because I don't know, but one of them posted an entire V Live just wearing the Deadpool mask and talking like Deadpool at the camera. It seems really hyper. It was funny.
I would probably
because it was on Twitter.
You think it was Felix?
I think it was
he's about to be
Bangchan.
my bias as I start my stay journey.
Yeah, Felix is my bias in Stray Kids. I love Felix. He's so cute.
I don't have a bias.
So cute.
Yeah. Love Stray Kids though. That's so funny. I think I would freak out too if Ryan Reynolds like sent me a bottle and was like, from one American to another, even though he's not even American. He's Canadian, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I would love that.
He's so funny.